guys so I know we're ready to go. That's the first one.
Bulldog basketball from the Brainy Borough. Hello, everybody. I'm Ike Bush, and we're getting ready to begin the game. The audio coming out a little bit choppy so far, so a little bit of a technical difficulty between the back. We'll figure this out and get on air as soon as possible. We're back on air after some technical difficulties with the volume settings, and we're back on air. This is Ike Bush and Josh Hyman back on the Bulldog Report. Hello, everybody. It is basketball from the Brainy Borough, the home opener for the Bulldogs. Metuchen taking on the South River Rams at home. And Metuchen, after a tough game on the road on Friday against the Spotswood Chargers, not an easy win to pull off, and they were unable to win that game. The final score in that one was 58-48. Metuchen fell short of the Spotswood Chargers, but they looked pretty good, and we've had expectations for this team to be pretty good, led by Dominic Schiappa. How well do you think they're going to do this year, the Metuchen Bulldogs?
Well, yeah, definitely. There is a very high expectation for this Metuchen team, especially when you have guys like Dom Schiappa, who is actually going to continue his career into college and play ball at Marywood University. And you also have other big-name players like Liam Benderly, like Max Cohn, like Ben Santis. So, yeah, I think there is a lot of pressure for these Bulldogs to get a very nice winning record this year.
Well, absolutely. Last year with a pretty solid record as well, and now they're going to try to make a deep run into the GMCs, which is the ultimate goal, or at least the Blue Division Finals. There you see your starters, the top starters right now: Liam Benderly, Dom Schiappa, Max Cohn, Alec Ladelaide, and Ben Santis out on the court to get started. So the Metuchen Bulldogs at tip-off, and we are underway. Dished out. It's South River basketball. Passed in and out. Back dished to the outside. That's covered by, that's covered by Liam Benderly. Passed in and dribbled. That's the chance with Alec Crosby, who's going to lay it and miss the first chance of the day. Roman Santos dishes one back. Dribbling in on the drive. Lays it in. The first points of the game. And South River has an early lead. Here come the Metuchen Bulldogs. Liam Benderly to Ben Santis, who misses the shot, but there's a foul. And it's going to be South River, the ball went out of bounds. His foot went out of bounds. So South River basketball, here they come. Driving down, 7:20 on the clock. It's 2-0 South River here from the Brainy Borough. Dribbling towards the point. Dished out. You're seeing Lazaro Rodriguez pass one out to Jeremy Grosby, who's going to drive. Step back, driving, pass dished out, and the shot is off the mark. That's Max Cohn, who comes down with it, dribbling it past the timeline, and a drive past to Dominic Schappa. Committed to college to play basketball, and he's definitely the main name for the Metuchen Bulldogs. He'll lay it in. That's Dom Schappa to get the Metuchen Bulldogs their first points of this game. 2-2 is our score after the response from the Metuchen Bulldogs. Driving, pass out. The shot is up, and it's no good. Alex Grosby, the shot was just off the mark, barely hit off the rim and thinned by Max Cohn. The point guard's going to dribble on past the timeline. Here they come. Dom Schappa on the outside. Going to make a driving push. Missed the jumper, and he takes the shot. It's good. Dominic Schappa up 4-2. Now we're the Metuchen Bulldogs. Here comes South River. An open three-point chance. He'll take the pass instead to the wide open Lazaro Rodriguez, putting up his first points of the day. 2 more points for Lazaro Rodriguez and the Rams. It's 4-4. Josh, how do you think they're doing so far, the Rams, responding to the key offense that Metuchen is dishing out so far?
I think the Rams are doing quite well so far. You saw them, both of their points coming from right underneath the basket. That, Metuchen is playing that very high, very aggressive press, not letting them get past the three-point line, but South River's finding a way to sneak a guy in that defense and get them some points, and that's going to be very vital if Metuchen continues to play that way.
Max Cohn passing out. It gets deflected, and now it's a drive. The layup and in, and 1 for the South River Rams. They'll cash in 2, and now they'll be sent to the line to add to their total. Awesome chance by Lazaro Rodriguez for the chance for the three-point play. They now have the 6-4 lead with 5:33 up on the clock. South River sent to the line. Now for the first time today, one shot to see if they can go up by 3. 6-4 is our score. Metuchen just trailing by 2. The shot is off the mark and thinned by. Alec is going to pass this one into a dangerous situation. Liam Benderly recovers, and it's going to be dished to Max Cohn after touched by Ben Santos. A whistle on the play. Stoppage. Metuchen ball on the other side of the court. Little miscommunication there. Metuchen getting their guys set. That's Liam Benderly underneath the hoop, potentially waiting a pass from Dom Schappa. Pass out to Max Cohn, and he's got it from the timeline, dribbling up. He's got good coverage on the defensive spectrum there by Alex Grosby. Both of his brothers on the team as well. Shot, and the three-pointers off the mark from Dom Schappa here coming across. And the pass outside. Here's the shot from the long 3 range, is just off the mark. And now it's 6-4 still. We got a pretty low-scoring basketball game here from the Brainy Borough. If you're just joining us, 6-4, South River in the lead. Marcus Malamug waiting on the sideline, ready to go in. It appears they'll be subbing him in at some point soon. It gets stolen on a not-so-smart pass to the timeline. And that one was intended for Liam Benderly, but it gets knocked away. They had a fast break chance, but it ends up getting spoiled. That Metuchen defense, so vital. So how important do you think the Metuchen defense is to winning this game after South River coming off the win last week?
Well, for any game, the defense is going to be very important, and I think Metuchen has to play a bit more with more intelligence here because they keep letting those guys slip under the basket with that high press. There's nothing inherently wrong with it, but it has to be done correctly, or else you'll get stragglers just, coming in behind you and scoring those points.
Well, Alec Ladele was just subbed out. Marcus Malamug in for him at the big position center. Just saw sent to the line now will be Dom Schappa to shoot 2 and try to tie up the game. 6-4, South River in the lead. First shot is just short of the hoop. Still score remaining at 6-4. Here's his second shot, Dom Schappa. Checking inside, the chance is, again, off the mark, a little too strong on this one. It still remains a 6-4 basketball game. Their key guy, Dom Shapa, misses both of his foul shots, still has yet to get some points on the board. The deep three is no good, but swatted up and taken. South River and one. That's Roman Santos. And South River once again going to convert on a fouled layup. And he's going to convert a 2-point play, chance for a 3-point play. 8-4 now. South River in the lead. 4:13 to go in the first quarter. Time is going by pretty fast, almost halfway through the first quarter. The third point to his 2-point play is no good. So it's going to be Metuchen back on the offensive side. 8-4, South River in the lead. Passed out, that's Ben Santos, the sophomore. Make sure you keep your eyes out for Ben Santos. He's a sophomore, a big man. He's already in the starting lineup for the Metuchen Bulldogs. So starting as a sophomore, very impressive stuff for Ben Santos. He'll be checking the ball in. He's got Marcus Malamug, Dom Shapa, Max Cohn, and Liam Benderly out there as his teammates. Checked out. Shapa looked for the three, thinks better of it, and his shot is turned away and swatted. Here comes a South River fast break, which gets broken up quickly. Liam Benderly gets the ball for Max Cohn. Josh, what a steal that was by Liam Benderly.
Yeah, it was great aggression from Benderly, and that's what you really need to look for in a teammate. When things go badly, when things don't go the way you want, you need somebody who's going to keep his composure and just still act aggressively whenever needed, and that's what Benderly's doing.
Max Cohn with a dagger pass right to Dom Shapa, who shoots it over the defender and tacks on two. 8-6 our score. It's a thin lead for South River, a very close game. Jumping a pass, here's the layup chance, coming at Benderly. Benderly falls back, the points are good. And the points added there by Lazaro Rodriguez. And may I add, Lazaro Rodriguez has 6 of the South River 10 points at the moment. Looking very good. Keep your eyes out for Lazaro Rodriguez. Lazaro last week put up 18 points in their win. So definitely want to keep an eye out for Lazaro. He had a huge part of their big win against South Plainfield, putting up 18 of their 63 total points. So how do you think he's changed the dynamic of their offense, made them a lot more aggressive? How do you think that Lazaro Rodriguez has been the key factor for the South River so far?
Well, you just look at the stat sheet. He is adding a tremendous amount of firepower to this South River team. He's a 6'3", 200-pound junior. He's physically imposing. He's dangerous. He knows how to shoot, and right now he is putting most of the points up on the board for Metuchen, who, unfortunately, the Bulldogs have not really been able to find a solution for him. He is basically their Dom Shapa, just a bit bigger, a bit meaner.
Well, here comes Sahil Gudrathi, just checked in for Liam Benderly. Pass in for Marcus Malamug, gets swatted away off the backboard. And now here come the Rams again. Passed in and dished out. Here's the shot from three-point range, is nowhere near the net. In fact, it airballs. And it's still played in as Max Cohn's going to get the ball across the timeline, pulls up, passes to Ben Santos, the big man sophomore, who lays one a little too strong. And there's a foul on the play. That's going to give Metuchen some shots. They're going to send their big man, Dom Shapa, to the line. And inside of the hashes, they have Marcus Malamug and Sahil Gudrathi to try to get those rebounds. Shapa 0 for 2 from the line so far. And again, missing that net, but just by a little bit. I mean, you see he's in the ballpark, but he's just not getting those bounces the way he should. And for the big man, the big name on this team, he probably should be converting on those shots, but it might take a little while for him to warm up. And once he's warm, you'll see what he could do. Gets the lucky bounce on there, and it's now a one-possession game. It's 10-7. Here come the Rams. Passed out. Here's the three-point chance. It's off the mark. That was Darren Barbario, who also had himself a big game last time. I mean, last week he was able to get 2 rebounds. So he's a big man defensive player for sure. The stats don't lie about him. And the missed shot will be a foul as well. So, unbelievably, there's been so many fouls through this game. How could the defenses be more cautious in fouling? I mean, I know this team, the Rams, might be a little bit better and bigger than Metuchen. How can they play a better defense without fouling these guys?
Well, I think they just need to gain their composure. You see South River is being incredibly aggressive on offense, and unfortunately Metuchen looks a bit lost at times. So for this Metuchen team, they definitely have to start figuring out and communicating better and trying to slow the game down without being sloppy about it.
That's Lazaro Rodriguez at the line. He missed his first shot. Looking to add more here. And there's the security basket they needed. One more point for South River. 2:17 ticks to go left in the first quarter. Metuchen basketball down 11-7. Taken away and stolen. That's Lazaro Rodriguez, but he won't get possession as he kind of just swatted it away. Ball goes out of bounds. It's going to be, once again, Bulldogs basketball. And they've just been sloppy, right? Their passes haven't been that smart. They haven't been playing too intelligently with the basketball in their hands, or really defensively either. They look a little rusty, and what do you think about that, Josh?
Yeah, I think rust is a bit expected. It's very early in the season for this Metuchen team. But you also have to realize it's early in the season for the South River team as well. So yeah, you are correct that their passing has not been great. It has been a bit confused and sloppy, a lot of turnovers. So Metuchen really needs to iron this out quickly before this game gets away from them. And they just have to stay composed, they can't panic, and they can't be making foolish plays.
Dom Shapa pass in to Marcus Malamug, who loses the ball. Lazaro Rodriguez passes it in, and it's going to be taken away. Dom Shapa gets the ball, dribbling between two defenders, and now he's coming across the timeline with the basketball. Good defense mechanism there. That was Jeremy Grosby playing some good defense. Dished out to Marcus Malamug, who passes one, finds the open Ben Santis. Here comes Max Cone. The junior takes a jump shot from long distance, 2-point range, and adds two more. 11-9 now, as Metuchen is sticking in this game. And the key to their offense so far has been their jump shot. I mean, really, most of their points have come from the jump shot. You saw the Dom Shapa jump shot, and then the Max Cone one as well. They're getting a few foul chances, but they haven't been able to convert too much on the foul shots. Lays one up, and it's good. 2 points on the jumper again. It's 11-11. Here comes South River, passed in. It's taken by Ben Santis, who gets fouled. A little bit of a scrum there. And they're going to get tied up and send both teams to the sideline for a little bit of a break. 11-11 with under a minute to go. And there's going to be a little bit of a miscommunication between the refs. One guy calling for a foul, and the other is just kind of, the players just kind of meeting at half. So it's looking like they're going to award a foul on Kobe Taylor, who kind of got into it a little bit with Ben Santis, which will give him 2 shots. It's an intentional foul on South River. Ben Santis to take their shots. The first shot is up, and it's just off the mark. That's a technical foul, so he's had a wide open lane to the first shot, and they will get the ball back. It's 11-11, 48 seconds left. Metuchen basketball looking to get their first lead of the game, and they have pretty much a new set. Now you're seeing Liam Benderly back out there, pink shoes and all, and it's going to be Metuchen basketball from midway. Setting their guys out front. Here come the Bulldogs. Pass to the open Sahil Gudrathi. Another risky pass across the court. Ben Santis will pass to Shapa, who takes a deep shot, and it's just off the mark. It overbounced the net, and it goes just over his target. They cannot get their first lead of the day. Here's the dish along. That's Jeremy Grosby pulling up and takes the driving layup. No good, but the rebound shot is good. That is Lazaro Rodriguez, who gets the rebound and the points for the South River Rams. Reclaims the lead. 5 seconds to go in the first. Here's the shot. Shapa is good from about 10 steps away. And that concludes the first quarter. 13-13, Josh. Which team has looked better? Which team has looked surprising? Tell me a little bit about the first quarter of action.
I think overall South River has been eking them out a little bit just because of how their scoring has been going. They were in control for the first few minutes of the game. They're getting a few more of their players on the board. very quickly, and they were kind of confusing this Metuchen defense just a little bit, but I do have to commend Metuchen. They were able to get over that hump, and it does seem like they're getting back into this game. It's still 13-13. It's still very early. It's going to be a very close game, but I think Metuchen is starting to look like they should. That being said, however, there is a lot of room for improvement. Their passing still is looking a bit sloppy. You saw it there. A lot of risky passes, a lot of turnovers, and I think they do need to speed this game up a little because they're letting themselves get spaced out around the three, not really looking to make any drives, but I think they are getting a bit better.
I definitely agree. I mean, South River has mostly looked very good. I mean, they've looked consistent. Their defense has been a little bit questionable at some points. But again, you're playing against a really good Dom Chapo who's got a really good shot. He's a big man. He's got some good defense. And he definitely could pull up and make some good plays. So, I mean, I think Metuchen has a lot of good players, but also South River isn't playing their best game, but they have looked like the better team. I think I'm looking to see Metuchen and South River improve here in the second quarter, but it's definitely has not failed to entertain us here from the Metuchen High School gym. So we're going to get the second quarter going. And that's Danny Kuhn out there for the first time today. Dribbles one with tight defense there. That is Jeremy Grosby, and it's going the other way. Lays it in, and that is Grosby to get the points. Well, a turnover right away from Danny Kuhn and the Metuchen Bulldogs, and South River looking for the fast start, and they get it in the second quarter. Dom Chapa taking it and directing traffic. He's going to drive and pass one to Danny Kuhn, who finds the other sophomore, Ben Santis, checked out to Sile Gudrathi. Shoots a little floater right to Chapa, and he'll lay in the easy, give me 2 points. 15-15, 7:20 to go. We're 40 seconds in. Each team already laid in a basket. That's a dish out. Darren Barbario is going to give it to the outside Lazaro Rodriguez. Pass outside. It's back and a pull up. A shot is no good. Off the mark. That chance was Kobe Taylor, the big junior, 6'2", 200 pounds, the junior. Definitely is a big man. He's going to be a tough thing to defend, and he's had some good defensive plays already so far. Taken up, and the layup is no good. Off the mark is Liam Benderly. Here come the Rams again. Wide open three-point chance, and Metuchen definitely gave away too many three-pointers last week. 8 three-pointers allowed in last week's loss to Spotswood, so they cannot let Darren Barbario get open on the outside again just like that. Here comes Ben Santis. Passed out, Dom Chapo. Don Chapo, the chance, and he's in. And Metuchen has claimed their first lead, of the game so far. And we're just early in this one, so doesn't really mean too much, but it's definitely a good sign for those Bulldog fans, and especially for the Bulldogs so far. Passed out, and here's the chance. Passed away to the corner. Corner three-point shot is good. Lazaro Rodriguez been the X factor for the Rams so far, and he adds 3 more to the total, and the Metuchen lead is no more. It doesn't last too long. 18-17. It's a South River basketball game, and Ben Santis, he's fouled as he lays in the 2, looking for a 3-point play. Santis looking really good defensively, and that was an awesome offensive play by Ben Santis to lay in the easy 2, and now he's going to have a chance for the 3-point play. Looking to add to his points so far. 2 points for Ben so far. And his shot is up and good. 3-point play for the Metuchen Bulldogs. Ben Santis looking good. Now Metuchen has themselves another 2-point lead. Here come the Rams. That's a dish inside. It's poked away by Marcus Malamug. The pass was intended for Lazaro Rodriguez, who's been the X factor for South River. They finally are able to defend him. Malamug pokes that ball away. It's South River basketball. The pass. Rodriguez has the ball. Pulling up. Pass in, and it's good. Wide open. They had Kobe Taylor to add in 2. And we have a tie basketball game, 20-20 here in the second quarter. Chapa directing traffic. Here's Dom. The pass to the corner. That's Danny Kuhn. Back to Chapa. He's getting double covered, it appears, at the moment. Ben Santos with a pick, and it's going the other way. It was a moving pick by Ben Santos. He appeared to try to just help out Shapa, who's getting double covered by two good zone defenders. But he was moving, so obviously it's a foul. And South River basketball after the timeout. So both teams on the side. Has Metuchen impressed you since your last talk about how they haven't looked too good? Do you think they've impressed you ever since then?
Yeah, I think they are improving throughout this game. Their defense has kind of figured out this South River team a bit. The scoring is starting to slow down for the Rams. However, their three-point defense has been a bit lacking. You know, this Metuchen team is very lucky that only one three-pointer has been made so far, because they tend to leave guys open in the corners a bit too much. So they're very fortunate that the South River team has missed a few of their points. And another thing they definitely need to work on is their free throw shooting. Only 2 points in total for this Metuchen team have been made. And we talk about this a lot, how, you know, free throws can define the games. If you're losing by like 3 or 4 or 5 points, we've already had, you know, roughly 8 potential points for this Metuchen team only on free throws, and it's very important to make them.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a lot of development as a team comes with the early season jitters. And how about that? Dom Shapa pulling up from 3. He does it all. Look at that. That's his 16th point of the day. 16 out of the 23 Metuchen points is Dom Shapa. And it's just the first half of play. He's having a freakish day. Here's the deep 3 chance that's off the mark, barely. Jeremy Grosby tried to make the three-pointer. Now here come the Bulldogs again. In the lead now. Shapa charges the defender. Kobe Taylor goes down. And it's South River basketball back on the drive. So, you know, they just gave up a quick three-pointer. Now they went back on offense. They were fortunate to get the ball back after it was stolen. The South River offense has definitely looked struggling so far.
Yeah, I think it's just because Metuchen now has their feet underneath them. You can see here, not too much confusion going on from this Metuchen team. And unfortunately, I don't think South River is reacting quick enough to this adjustment from the Bulldogs.
Rodriguez missed the layup, so there's 4 minutes to go. Metuchen back on offense. They look to be controlling the pace of this game. 1-0 South River versus 0-1 Metuchen Bulldogs. You're watching the Bulldog Report from the Metuchen High School. Here comes Max Cohn dribbling up. He's got an open Liam Benderly in the corner. Instead, he goes to Sahil Gudrathi. Passes to Dom Shapa. The entire offense seems to be revolving around him this season and today. The 3 is just off the mark. Here comes South River again. Fast break. Pass over to Jeremy Grosby. Kobe Taylor inside. Sets a good pick. Grosby dribbling outside. The chance on a three-point is turned away. Lazaro Rodriguez thought better of it. And now here comes South River. James Cardillo, the head coach for the Bulldogs, almost on the court at this point as he's stressing the defense's very strong performance. Here's the chance and a conversion. 2 more points for Roman Santos, who also made his other points while getting fouled earlier. I mean, Santos missed the extra foul throw, free throw when he made his contested shot last time. But now we'll see if he can convert on this. 0 for 1 from the line is Santos. He made both shots while being overwhelmed with defensive pressure. Very impressive from Santos. And now he's going to add potentially a 3rd point to the play. 23-22, Metuchen in the lead. Santos from the line. You've got Sahil Gudrathi from the offensive perspective for the Bulldogs. Here's the shot. It's good. Perfect shot from Santos. This time, he has 5 points on the day. Metuchen back with the ball. 23-23. Shapa with the basketball. Across the timeline, here are the Bulldogs. Passed out. That's Sahil Gudrathi. Ben Santos with the ball. Checks it to Liam Benderly. Under no pressure is Benderly on the outside. He's a solid shooter. Surprised to see him have almost no three-point pressure. Shapa pulling up, drops back, and doesn't hit the shot from about mid-range. 23-23, our score remains. Lazaro Rodriguez with the wide-open layup. And he's been just about as good as Shapa has for the Bulldogs. I mean, he's had 14 points for the Rams. Gudrathi with the ball, picks it up, passes out to Max Cone. Cone with a drive, pass to Liam Benderly, who's fouled as he pulled up. And he's going to be sent to the line for 2 shots. Only 2:22 to go on the second quarter of play. We've got an awesome 25-23 spectacular game so far from the Brainy Borough. And just 2:22 to go in the first half. Here's Benderly's first of 2 shots from the line. It's up, and it's overwhelmingly strong for the net. I mean, he has an arc shot. There's no doubt about it. Liam Benderly definitely has an arc shot. We saw him earlier take a high arc shot, and it didn't go either. But he's looking for his first points of the game, the forward senior, 200 pounds. Up, and it arcs in this time. He has his first point of the day, and Metuchen is back within 1. That's Kobe Taylor, who's going to post up over Ben Santos. Going over Ben Santos isn't an easy thing. Ben Santos standing at a huge 6'3" as a sophomore. Here's Shapa, the pass to Marcus Malamug, who checks one to Liam Benderly. Got his first points just moments ago. Danny Kuhn to Marcus Malamug, who's fouled. And they're going to stay down there. Metuchen Bulldogs basketball down 1. Under 2 minutes to go. Metuchen Bulldogs have looked so good since the second quarter has started. What do you think about that, Josh?
Yeah, definitely. Their passing is looking very clean right now. In the last few drives, you've noticed how they are able to sneak guys into the 2-point line, into the paint, and that's no easy task, because this South River team has really big players like Kobe Taylor, and it is not always the easiest to, punch your way through, but Metuchen is actually doing that quite well now.
One of the biggest problems has been from the foul line, and Metuchen misses yet again from the charity stripe. It's Metuchen Bulldogs passing it. That's Danny Kuhn on offense, and he kind of loses track of the ball in South River basketball again. Here comes Kobe Taylor going through about 2 guys. Gets fouled as he put up. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. He's a big guy. He's got some weight. He's got some height, and he can do it all.
Yeah, we've seen him. Guys like that can be a huge game changer. We saw him on the offensive side setting a really nasty pick against Metuchen, driving him easily 10, 15 feet. And on offense, you can also see when he has the ball, he's able to drive through these other guys like it's nothing. If he gets his shooting under control and if he can make some key baskets, he's going to be a huge problem for this Metuchen defense.
So here comes his first of 2 shots. The first one is splashed in. That's his 3rd point of the day. It was a foul shot and a conversion. His other basket was a wide open layup he made. 26-24 Rams, and look at that. Both of them fall right through. It's 27-24 South River in the lead. If you're just joining us, we're on the Bulldog Report. Metuchen Bulldogs in the lead right now, down now 27-24. They're playing a good game, but the South River Rams definitely look a lot better. I mean, Metuchen Bulldogs revolving around that big guy with the ball right now, Dom Shapa. Pass out, that's Liam Benderly. Back to Shapa from the post. Dribbling and driving, he's got an open lane, and now it gets clogged. Taylor got in the way of that, the missed layup, and here come the South River Rams again. A wide open man puts it up, and it's no good. The shot there, that was Grosby with the missed shot, and they're going to call a stoppage in play. And as we had just mentioned, that's Kobe Taylor on the ground. We just mentioned how good of a player he is to go down on a play like that with just under a minute to go. We gotta hope he's okay. But each team sent to the side now. So if they lose Kobe Taylor, even if it's just for the next minute until the second half, what do you think that does to the South River offense?
It will make it a bit harder for them to punch through Metuchen, because as you saw, he's a big guy, and he was not afraid to charge a double team and draw that foul. And that's another thing that he can do is, we usually see smaller guys being able to draw fouls. But if you're a big guy like Taylor, some of the defenders might think they have to be a bit more physical to stop you, and that could get you a few free points. And as we've seen, he has no problem going from the line. So losing somebody like Taylor is going to impact their defense a bit. Maybe not in the scoring department such as somebody like Lazaro Rodriguez, but definitely in forms of creating opportunities for shooting.
Absolutely. He's 6'2", 200 pounds. The junior, just an awesome season for him so far. And Kobe Taylor, last game, if you want to know, 12 points last game, all on layups or 2-pointers, and he also had 2 free throws converted as well. So definitely a free throw force as well as a defensive mechanism for the South River Rams. Here come the Metuchen Bulldogs playing through it. The South River Rams had to sub him in. They sub him out. He's getting carried off to the locker room to be checked on. Here's Max Cohn, a pass that goes over Liam Benderly, and now South River's got the basketball back. The Metuchen offense has definitely slowed down a little bit. Wide open that was Darren Barbario who made a pass into the middle, and Shapia comes down with it. It's Metuchen basketball. Sweeping around is Max Cohn with a little deke. Here comes past the timeline. The point guard dribbles. It's stolen by Barbario, who's on the layup chance, and he lays it in. A sloppy play from Max Cohn. We've seen sloppy plays like that all night from Metuchen Bulldogs. 11 seconds to go. Under 10 to go. Shapia's layup is off the mark, and South River could add 2 more to their play, to their lead. The shot, how about 3 more at the buzzer? What a shot that was. And they'll lay 3 more on the board. Lazaro Rodriguez doing what he does best, hitting long-range shots. And, that was Jeremy Grosby with the 3-pointer, and it's the end of the first half. Heck of a game. And, I mean, the scoreboard doesn't really portray what the game has been like correctly. I mean, it's been very good for the Bulldogs, but they kind of fell apart and crumbled late in the second quarter.
Yeah, definitely. And it seemed like right when everything was starting to get a lot better for this Metuchen team, they started to stumble. And South River has just been putting up great shots time and time again. And for the Bulldogs, it just seems like they cannot finish their drives. You know, they do get great steals like you saw with Malamug that last drive there, but unfortunately they just can't seem to finish up. Shapa's been slowing down. He's carried this team for most of the game, and we only see 3 points from anybody without the last name Shapa, and that's a huge problem for this Metuchen team. We've seen in years past and seasons past where they like to spread the love. You know, it wasn't uncommon for them to get, 6 points, or 10 points for like 3 different guys. But for here, it's almost nothing. And South River has been a lot more spread out with who's scoring. So that's a huge problem. Is like for South River, they're focused on Dom Shapa, and if they're focused on getting Dom Shapa under control, unfortunately, it seems like that's how they're going to control this game. So Metuchen really needs to clean up that shooting and just capitalize on all these opportunities that they're making for themselves.
Absolutely. 34-24 South River in the lead. We'll come back for the second half of action here from the Bulldog Report. Hello, everybody. Second half of action from the Brainy Borough. Hello, everybody. I'm Ike Bush here with Josh Hyman, getting the second half of action underway. 34-24. South River Rams lead the Metuchen Bulldogs. What has gone right? What has gone wrong between both teams throughout the first half?
I think for South River, I think what's going right for them is that they're becoming very aggressive. They're hitting a lot of very key shots, especially especially their three-point shooting, which has been much better than Metuchen's. For Metuchen, what they're doing right is their passing is starting to get a lot better. They're making very clean key passes. They're starting to penetrate that defense a bit better now. What they can work on is just their defense overall. They're just getting a bit sloppy. They're leaving guys unattended. And I think if they fix that, they can come back from this game.
Well, we're back in action, and down goes Benderly. It's going to be Metuchen basketball right away. As you're seeing right now, Kobe Taylor exit the locker room. He's back and almost ready to go. So Kobe Taylor, a key part of that offense for South River, is in the corner and almost ready to get back in action from the Brainy Borough. So Ben Santis from the corner passed over to Alec, who's going to pass this one to Max Cone. That's Dom Shapa outside driving. He's going to lose the ball in a little bit of a scrum. Here come the Rams. Alex Grosby is going to pass this one out. Here's the chance, driving and pulling up. Roman Santos, though, came at him, and it's going to be Metuchen basketball from it's going to be South River basketball from underneath. Santos got fouled on the way to the hoop. And here comes Santos, the pass outside. That one is Jeremy Grosby, who's going to deal one out and back to Grosby here from the corner. That's Lazaro Rodriguez, been the X factor for the offense for South River so far. Here come the Bulldogs. They'll lose the ball. Rodriguez with the ball, passes it up, and a wide open corner chance is moving inside. A layup is no good, and we still have no score here in the third quarter. Over a minute in, a lot of chances, but no points on the board for either squad. Rolled up, and I just jinxed it as Max Cone adds 2 to his total. He now doubles his score. It's now 4-point day for Max Cone. Lazaro Rodriguez for 3 is no good. And Ben Santis, the sophomore, will get the rebound and pass it to Max Cone, who's got his offense out there. 34-26. Metuchen just previously cut this lead from 10 to 8. Pass to Shapa, pulling inside, and it's turned aside by Lazaro Rodriguez. Shapa, though, has been pretty much unable to be shut down throughout today. No matter how hard South River's been trying, it's been tough to do, as he has 16 points on the board. Just in the first half, he was able to put up those numbers. So we'll see what he could do in the second half, as he has the basketball now. Number 5, Shapa. Santis to his left. He hooks one to Max Cone for 3. It's just shy of the hoop. And here comes South River again. Bending in. Dribbling and a pass. From the corner, it's a pass to Lazaro Rodriguez, who will give it to his friend, which is Darren Barbario. And there's a stoppage in play. It's going to be South River basketball from the side. There was a bit of a... Yeah, there was a. It looked like a moving screen there. So South River basketball. Now they're gonna pass in the corner. Here comes South River. The Rams on a check, and here they come from the corner. Max Cone guarding, and a little bit of scrum underneath. Alec has the ball, pulls it away, and it looks like they're gonna come down with it. That was Ladelaide who gets the ball for the Metuchen Bulldogs. It went off of a foot underneath, and it might have been, there might have been a little something between Alec and the defender. But anyway, here comes Ben Santis. Pass back to Max Cone, coming across halfway. Here come the Bulldogs. Alec on a pass inside. Shapa with his famous shot from the side, and they're going to hit it on the layup. 34-28. They're up 6 now. It's a 2-possession game for the first time since the first half. Bulldogs looking a lot better since halftime, Josh.
Yeah, definitely. And they're trying to find a way around that very, very high press from South River. As you can see, even in the pass-ins from Metuchen, they got three guys around the halfway line, and Metuchen is just burning seconds trying to get around them. Fortunately, though, especially Max Cohn has done a very good job of navigating his team through that press.
Well, it is interesting how much of a press they have on defense, and it's worked at some points, and it hasn't worked at other points in this game. But, that's a streaky kind of defensive mechanism, because if the Bulldogs are able to figure out that scheme, then they could beat it very easily, and if not, that's when they start to struggle. The shot off the mark from 3, Santos gets the ball, passes it to Cohn across the timeline. Here come the Bulldogs.
And as you can see now, they're trying to stop it just because Max Cohn actually was able to figure out and charge right up for 2. They're going a lot more conservatively on defense now, as you can see.
And the 3 from Lanolade is no good. And here come the Rams again. Inside, and Rodriguez's chance is no good. Back underneath, Lanolade's down. He looks to be hit by something in the face. Maybe he got an elbow to the face, but he's down. And checking up on him is Dom Shapa, ready to go in, who's checked in for him earlier. Marcus Malamug will probably be the sub. Also, Sahil Gudrathi looking to go in potentially at some point soon. And we'll stop for the injured man with 4:41 to go. 34-28, South River in the lead. They have not added to their score in almost 4 minutes. They hit the buzzer beater 3-pointer, which was an awesome way to end, but it hasn't been anything since from the Rams. The Bulldogs have pretty much owned this half, but that it looks like mostly that South River defense has been the main reason. The lack of defense from South River has been the reason they haven't been able to do so well this half.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like they're trying out new things every quarter, and that can be fine if what you're doing isn't working, but it just seems a bit unusual, the type of choices that South River's making on defense, which is letting Metuchen poke through in a few very important circumstances, and they're cutting this lead down.
So here come the Bulldogs back on offense. Liam, the pass out, and that shot is nowhere near the hoop. That was Sahil Gudrathi who tried to make a long 3-pointer, and there's going to be a stoppage in play after the man goes down, but it's going to be Bulldogs basketball from underneath. Max Cohn's had a really good game in terms of ball handling. He's a very confident and very strong ball handler with the basketball in his hands. And that's exactly why he's their point guard, and he really leads every single play. There's Dom Shapa. The play works successfully. Here's Gudrathi for the redemption shot. Bounces back down, and Liam Benderly looked like he traveled the basketball, which will send it the other way. Maybe South River could add to their 34 points on this drive. They really haven't been able to do anything offensively in the entirety of the second half. And now you're seeing Taylor come back in. Kobe Taylor, perhaps that's why they haven't been doing too much offensively. Kobe Taylor was out. Now he's back in. Underneath is Kobe Taylor, the big man. And a shot, that was Barbario, who gets turned aside. It's gonna be Metuchen. It's gonna be South River basketball. Looked like it was a foul there on Max Cohn. And it's going to be South River basketball from underneath. Roman Santos ready to check it in. Santos examining the floor. You've got Taylor on the open option. Here he comes, driving a pass. Santos lays it in. And there come the Rams on the second half, on the board in the second half.
I think you were right in terms of Kobe Taylor's effect on this offense. Now they're starting to pick it back up with the big guy underneath the basket.
Absolutely, and Sahil Gudrathi's been struggling shooting the ball, and he's been open on a lot of chances, but he hasn't really been converting. Do you change your offensive scheme, or do you change the guys involved in the scheme? What's the deal right now for the Metuchen offense?
Well, it's not just Gudrathi who's been struggling with these 3-pointers. It's been basically the entire Metuchen entire Metuchen team. Unfortunately, they're not able to get close to the basket, so they're forced to take these unnatural 3-pointers. So you definitely have to start being a bit more aggressive and trying to strike deep into into this South River defense trying to get close to the basket, which unfortunately has been a kind of a struggle for this Metuchen team.
Barbario fouled Liam Benderly, so he'll have 2 shots after being poked at. Down 8, and the shot is again arcing, no good. He has a bit of a funky shot, very high arc. He was able to convert earlier. He's 1 for 3 at the line so far today, and he only has 1 point so far today. And that shot is also no good. Potentially some more points for South River here. Here's the shot, and it's good. That's Roman Santos from the outside. And it's just a 2-pointer, but they add back to their lead. It's a 10-point lead, South River basketball. South River in the lead, and looks like it was a foul. That was Lazaro Rodriguez who fouled, and it's going to be Metuchen basketball staying with the offense. 38-28, back in the lead by 10. Each team has had 4 points in the second half. Max Cohn coming across the half. Again, a sturdy ball handler, as we've seen it last game and this game as a player. Here comes Cohn, dishes to Marcus Malamug from the outside. Malamug to Liam Benderly. Benderly to Cohn. Cohn cycling, passes back to Benderly. Benderly to Shapa, who still has yet to score in the second half, and it's going to go the other way. 3 seconds violation. They were standing in the paint there, which will give South River the basketball back. 38-28. They're in the lead. Coming across the timeline, there's their key component, Kobe Taylor. Coming up in a wide open pass as he tried to find Roman Santos, and Santos under the middle tried to get Lazaro Rodriguez, and it went incomplete and out of bounds. So now it's Metuchen basketball. 2:42 in the third quarter. Looking like they need a rest. Metuchen, both offense and defense, looks a little bit tired here in the third quarter. Coming across the timeline. Back to Shapa, looking for his first points in the second half today. Here he comes. Posting up. Double team. And he is fouled on the chance. That was Taylor who kind of got in his way and stuck his arms up. Shapa's going to take 2 shots from the line. 2:25 to go. It's a 10-point lead for the South River Rams. Haven't seen too much offense from either team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and as you can see, that South River team is basically forming a solid block in the paint of all their players, just making it a huge pain to get anywhere in range for this Metuchen team. And they have been struggling with 3-pointers, so they really do not have an answer so far for this South River defense. And then on the other side of the ball, Metuchen's defense has actually been pretty good so far. They have been able to keep South River on their toes, but unfortunately they're not going to go anywhere if they don't figure out this scoring issue.
Well, missed. Both shots are no good from the line. The charity stripe has not been too friendly for the Bulldogs today. And look at this. Roman Santos has been an awesome player for the Rams this half, already dishing some more points for the Rams, both offensively and defensively, but mostly offensively, as those are his 6th points of the half. That'll send us to a timeout called by the Bulldogs. They definitely have to break down. What are you saying to your team right now if you're head coach James Cardillo?
You got to find a way to get into the paint. There's no other option. Their 3-pointers have been kind of tough lately, and they're not going to score points unless they can get close for those layups and those 2-point jumpers. So I would say just don't be afraid to just try to charge in. Don't be afraid to start picking apart this South River defense. Keep moving around the ball. Keep quick passing, quick, accurate passing to kind of scramble the South River defense and then get them tired, get them confused, and then rush up the middle and score. Unfortunately, that has been kind of tough, and it will not be easy, especially with big guys such as Lazaro Rodriguez or Kobe Taylor trying to block you up.
Absolutely. This defensive scheme has looked very good for the Rams. I mean, they've been able to, determine what Metuchen hasn't done well, what they have done well, and set up a good defensive scheme here for the second half. That perhaps is why Bulldogs only have 4 points up on the board here in the second half. Brandon Walsh is leading his team very well, especially here in the second half. The head coach for the South River Rams. And they have a 12-point lead, pretty secure here in the third quarter. Their defensive scheme forcing the Bulldogs to take those long shots, which haven't paid off today. Here comes Ben Santis. Inside, a bounce pass to Max Cohn, who's going to give it back to Santis. Santis seeing the game for the first time in a little while. Here comes Cohn. Piping down. He's got his options. A pass underneath. That's Dom Shapa, and he lays it in. Just committed to Marywood for college. And he'll lay in 2 and his 18th points of the day. His first few points of the second half. Here they come. Roman Santos driving. And look at that. Spinning and shooting above a few players to add 2 and 1. Potentially a 3-point play for South River. And Metuchen's defense just does not look like they can counter. They can counter anything on this South River offense, especially Roman Santos.
Yeah, Roman Santos, he was a bit quiet earlier in the half, but now he's starting to really take off. But one thing Metuchen is doing better at is, you saw with that Dom Shapa drive, they are starting to get into the paint with those layups.
Absolutely, and his free throw is good, and he's just been so reliable this half especially. Not sure what's changed, but he just looked really good. And fouled on the shot attempt. That was Liam Benderly looked to get 2, and now will get 2 shots instead. To the line, here come the Bulldogs. 2 shots. Down by 13, they just can't let this game get away from them because South River is such a reliable defensive team. It's going to be hard to come back. And they cannot let this game get away from them. They got to make and capitalize these opportunities. Liam Benderly misses his first of 2 foul shots. His free throws have not been too reliable today at all. And neither have any of Metuchen players. Like, they have not had successful free throws too much today. Their shooting hasn't been great. They typically run a scheme where they drive to the net or find the big man Shapa. But if that's your only scheme against a team like this, it's going to be a hard thing to do to pull out a W.
Well, the thing is, usually is a very good scheme. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like they're trying to drive to the basket as much as they usually do.
Especially here in the second half, once South River has figured out their type of scheme. Here comes Max Cohn. He's fouled again. There's been so many fouls back and forth. And maybe it has to do with, the pace of the game. It's a very quick basketball game. There's, drives and fast breaks and turnovers here and there. So maybe that has to do with some of the fouls and trying to catch up with the pace of the game.
I definitely agree, and Metuchen really has to capitalize on these fouls. It could easily be, a 4 3-point game, maybe a 6-point game or so, if Metuchen had been reliable from the free throw line. Unfortunately, they are having a bit of trouble today, and they're really starting to feel the pressure here in this third quarter.
Well, Max Cohn converts his first of 2, potentially could make both of them now. And what's stopping South River from fouling Metuchen if they don't make their shots? So sending out a statement is Max Cohn making both of his shots. Now just a 10-point game from 13 earlier. Now that's the biggest name. Roman Santos passes it, and it's stolen by Shapa, who finds a fast break to Marcus Malamug, who missed Max Cohn, who missed the layup. That definitely would have been a huge momentum booster. And if you had someone like Jai Dreher from last year, how about a dunk? But definitely not in that ballpark yet, at least for Max Cohn. Not too tall of 5'10", but Metuchen Bulldogs basketball after the missed attempt on the shot for South River. Here come the Bulldogs. Shapa driving in, finds Malamug outside. Cohn fakes the shot, pumps, passes back in. Liam Benderly gets inside, and there's a travel called on the Bulldog. It's going to go the other way, and James Cardillo is far from happy right now in the middle of the court. And he doesn't have any reason to be happy either. I mean, the Metuchen Bulldogs haven't looked too good this half. But they have showed some signs of momentum late in this third quarter. 40 seconds to go. South River with the ball. Roman Santos outside driving. And he'll get stopped. A pass inside and back outside. Here comes another drive. This has been the scheme the entire day. Outside and then a drive inside from the 3-point line. And a layer shot is good. And that was Jeremy Grosby with his 7th point of the day. They expand their lead to 12 now. Outside, Dom Shapa. Back to Max Cohn. Cohn hooking around. He's got Malamug open in the corner, who shoots and misses the three-pointer. The Bulldogs haven't been able to make too many three-pointers. To end the third quarter, the shot is just barely off the mark. And now we've got a 12-point game. The lead in favor right now of the Rams. Bulldogs are in tough shape here in the fourth quarter. They're going to need a lot to happen. How do you change your scheme? What do you do in order to get quick points and easy points here in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, despite what it may look like, the Metuchen offense has been kind of slowing down a bit. You saw that last drive. Almost all of them were in the corners of the half or in the corner of the end line, and the passing was very slow. There was a bit too much dribbling. What they need to be doing is just quick passes, confusing and scrambling that defense, like I said before, and then charging up the middle. And that was working for a bit of time. You know, the offense did start to come back alive when they were getting guys into the paint and closer within the three-point line. But now they're going back to what did not work in the first quarter, which was just passing it around slowly around the corners of the court.
Absolutely. You know, they had a scheme going on the first half. They actually had the lead for a little while in the first half, and it's kind of been figured out by that South River defense. They've been able to slow it down and kind of contain it a little better than they did in the first half, and they haven't given up the lead in a long, long time. They've had the lead ever since the momentum booster in the second half. And there was the long three-point try and more. The Bulldogs back on offense to get the fourth quarter going. Actually, South River ball now here in the fourth quarter. We're underway, 7:55 to go. Bulldogs need quick points and easy points if they can to add to their total, which they're now down by 12. Here's the pass. They need to play some tight defense as well if they want to stay in contention. The pull up, and it's good by Rodriguez after he gets his own rebound. How impressive was that play there by Rodriguez? 14-point game now. He drew the foul, so he's going to add one to his total if he can convert on this shot. Bulldogs, as I said, have to play good defense, and right now it's not looking like they are going to be able to keep up in this game because this defense is just struggling and kind of collapsing in the fourth quarter. Here comes Max Cohn, the sure ball handler. He hasn't really been checked out this game. Been a reliable point guard, but they just haven't been able to do much. Here's Shapa, who takes a long three-pointer. It's saved by Benderly, but it goes right to South River. Coming up, tried the dunk. And oh my goodness, Roman Santos, if he was able to convert on the dunk, that would have really, really boosted their momentum even more.
Yeah, this is going to be a bit of an unpopular opinion, but I'm going to say it. Dunks do not really belong in this game right now. I mean, you have to be 100% sure you can make that basket. And you saw the South River coach, Brendan Walsh, shaking his head in frustration at that choice to make a dunk. You can't be doing that. It doesn't matter if you're up 14 points. You got to really just make sure you get every single point you can.
Absolutely, and Max Cohn's going to make his first shot. His second shot is also good. So not only do they make the shots, the Bulldogs will get the basketball back. And, you know, this could come back to bite them. You know, the fact that he tried to dunk, I mean, it's still a hard thing to do to come back in this game. But, you know, you never want to do that because if you're unable to convert, it could be, you know, a foul on you. And then Metuchen Bulldogs are now back kind of in the game. They have a little bit of momentum with the ball, only down by 12. They just have to make their shots. Here's the pull-up. Ben Santos ended up kind of being a pass to Liam Benderly, who lays in the easy basket, and now it's a 10-point game. Taylor right underneath and wide open for the basket. They're going to send him to the charity stripe as well to add to his total. It seems like the Bulldogs are fouling South River on every single drive of today's game.
Yeah, definitely. It's not a bad strategy, as both teams have been kind of lacking from the charity stripe, as you say, but also at the same time you have to be careful just giving up those free opportunities for points.
And they're going to get the ball back right away. A deep three is bundled. What a shot! Jeremy Grosby hits the long three-pointer. And if that doesn't boost your momentum at this point, I don't know what will. They have the biggest lead they've had on the entire day. And they're in the lead now by 15. South River just blowing away the Bulldogs in the last minute or so. And now, Bulldogs will get the ball back. Timeout called by Coach James Cardilla. You cannot assume that he's happy right now with his team.
No, definitely not. And one thing to point out, with that basket, there are now 3 different South River players with 10 points or more. And for Metuchen, the only person that comes close is Dom Shapa. And that's an interesting thing for Metuchen, because in years past, we would see, 3-4 guys getting, 8, 10, at least like 8 to 10 points a game. You had Luke Schleck, you had Jai Dreyer, you had Liam Bennerly, putting up impressive numbers each game, spreading the love around. Here, they're struggling, You have Max Cohn, who has 8 points, and you have Dom Shapa, who has 20 points. But other than that, a lot of their scores are nowhere to be found.
Right, and I think a lot of that has to do with the very strong defense and pretty much a clash of 2 schemes. Like, the Metuchen Bulldogs are really struggling, and they have almost no way of getting to the hoop without shooters, or at least a lack of shooters. Today, they have not been performing shooting deep, and that's a big problem for the Metuchen Bulldogs. If people start to read their scheme, which doesn't necessarily involve shooting too much from the arc, that could be a problem. They hit 5 3-pointers in their last game. They've just kind of been struggling from 3. And as I say that, Shapa airballs the 3-point attempt. 15-point game with under 7 minutes to go. 6.5 to go. And South River kind of getting fancy now, going to try to waste the time a little bit. Here they come under the hoop, and again, they'll foul them. Do you think some of these fouls have to do with the fact that just South River is naturally built as a bigger team and it's hard to keep up with them?
Not necessarily. I think there are big guys on Metuchen too. I don't think that's the reason they're fouling. My guess is they're just trying to slow down that offense. And like I said before, both teams have not been great from that charity stripe, so maybe it's just a ploy to slow down that offense and get them to miss their free throws. And it's unfortunate that he has to get a foul, but at the same time, you may be walking out with them only getting 1 point on the drive, or maybe none at all.
Absolutely. Rodriguez misses his first chance. 15-point game is going to stay. Metuchen Bulldogs get the rebound. Shapa pass to Max Cohn. Again, struggling from the line on all bases are both teams, really. And Shapa kind of receives a handoff from Cohn. Down goes Benderly to get the ball. Tries to pass to Cohn. It gets scooped up by the South River offense. And it's dished out. Here comes the drive. Passed and hooked around. A deep 3-pointer again by Grosby. He's been taking a lot of 3-point chances today. He had the one before halftime. He hit the one just a few moments ago that pretty much put a dagger into the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and it's very tempting to start just shooting 3-pointers over and over again, especially if you make a really clutch 3. But I think it is also a good idea to, spread the love and get those sure points for your teammates.
And the sophomore, with a little bit of a rookie mistake there, traveling, it's going to go the other way. And South River basketball, to come on the road and have this performance is really impressive. If they win this game, they'll be 2-0 and sitting atop of the division, of the blue division. And really, they're competing right now with Middlesex, who just won their last game 66-16, which is unbelievable. Just traditionally a great basketball school. And also Spotswood, who just beat Metuchen only by 15 last week. So, there's our 10 they beat them by 10 last week. So, there's tight competition in the blue division. And and that's one of those things. Like, South River could be competing to win the blue division, really mostly behind Middlesex, who's really their biggest threat. And Metuchen has played a relatively good game against a team like this. But they just have to figure some things out for their next game, assuming the game goes the way it looks like it will. Right now it's a 16-point game in favor of South River, and make that 17. And this game is far out of reach for the Bulldogs, but you never know what could happen. They're down by 17, but there's still 5 minutes to go. It's going to be a tough thing to come back, but hey, anything could happen in Jersey. So That's going to send Liam Benderly to the line. Just kind of quoted the NJ Lottery there. If you guys know your slogans. Liam Benderly gonna shoot 2 shots, down by 17. Liam Benderly to the line. Refs negotiating a bit. So Benderly hasn't shot too well from the line today. He's gonna try to make these baskets. His first chance. The shot goes up and way up and good. So he cuts it to a 16-point lead. Bulldogs kind of struggled in the second half mostly, only putting 14 points up in this second half, 24 in the first. Shot up and he undershot it, and then the bounce goes over the net, so it's still a 16-point game now. It was a foul on Marcus Malamug. He does not like the call, arguing with the ref, and that's his second foul of the day. So 2 shots at the line now. That will be Kobe Taylor looking to convert. 5:11 to go in this one. His first shot is good. Taylor making his 3rd foul shot of the day. His next one is just off. So here come the Bulldogs again. Shapa finds Cone, and it's going to be a foul on South River, which will send Shapa to the line. 17-point game here from the Brainy Borough. If you're just joining us, it's 55-38. South River in the lead. Shapa's first shot is no good, just underdid it. 17-point game does not get any smaller right now, and the lead is securely in the Rams' back pocket. Bulldogs had to find a counterpart to that very strong second half, especially defense from the Rams, and they haven't really been able to figure out that defense and how to counter it. Here come the Rams. Pass to the corner, and pulling up for the layup. They'll add to their total. That's Darren Barbario adding 2. Here come the Bulldogs. Back, that's Ben Santis. Pass to Shapa, who's had the ball more than anyone today, but kind of been shut down, especially in the second half, along with the entirety of the Metuchen offense and defense, really. Here they come. Lays it in. That's Lazaro Rodriguez, who kind of had an open layup chance. And they're rounding up to 60 points. They're pretty close to getting 60 points here against Metuchen on the road, and Liam Benderly's fouled as he lays in the basket. So, chance for a 3-point play. 18-point game. They at least crack 40 points at 41 right now. Benderly looking to make it a 3-point play. Gudrafi and Alec come in. It's going to be Benderly at the line for 1 shot. It's up, and he overdoes it. So if that's his foul shot, then if that's been his foul shot, you know, the arc, it hasn't really worked today, but if it works in the future, or it's worked in the past, then he should keep doing it. But I mean, he's definitely got to fix something up for his next chance, because foul shots are really what killed the Bulldogs, especially tonight.
Yeah, definitely. They have not been impressive from the free throw line, and that's really haunting them. This could like I said, this could easily be, you know, a 10, a 7, a 6-point game even if they were just consistent from the line. And unfortunately, those little things come back to haunt you, especially now that they're down 20 points with 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, they're down by 20 with just 4 minutes to go, as you just mentioned. It's going to be Bulldogs basketball to get the fourth quarter closed off. But, you know, it hasn't been a good performance, really, from the Bulldogs. But they, at the same time, they're playing at one of the top teams, as I mentioned earlier. And South River put up 63 points against South Plainfield. So they could crack that in today's game, potentially expanding their points for towards 130 or so on the year. And I think the best player so far, or today, for Metuchen has been Max Cohn. I mean, Shapa was really good, especially in the first half, but Cohn's ball handling was really good today. Very reliable with the ball in his hands as a point guard, and he's not in an easy situation. They've got some good defense coming at him with this press scheme, and he played well with it. Obviously, Shapa is a really great player, but the entirety, really, of the Metuchen offense has some things to work on for next game. Here comes Cohn with the ball. He finds Dom Shapa. He turns around. Cohn wide open. He's going to put up the shot, and it's off the mark. And that just explains today's game for Metuchen perfectly. You know, the shooting problems have been a huge issue for Metuchen.
Yeah, definitely. It doesn't matter how great your defense is. You're not gonna win. You're not gonna win the ball game if you don't score any points. And Metuchen has had a lot of trouble doing that tonight.
He's going to go back from the same spot and miss it again. Alec jumps up, and the ball comes down. Ladelaide will be sent to the line for 2 shots. In a bonus situation here in the fourth quarter. Just 3.5 minutes to go. South River with a very secure lead. First of 2 shots for Alec. Ladelaide's shot is too strong. Just struggling again from the line. It's been a bit of a struggle for the entire team. His second shot on its way, and he missed it. Still a 20-point game. South River with the basketball, looking to crack what they got last game, which was 63 points. Can they get in that area again? It's dished out. South River, the pass to the youngster, which is Barbario, and they'll lose the ball. Here come the Bulldogs, and Liam Benderly will lay it in. Wide open layup converted. Taylor wide open, and he'll hit the layup. So back-to-back open layups in today's game. It's been mostly layups, accounting for most of the score. Foul shots haven't done much of the points, but at the same time, you know, there's been so many chances. They've been able to convert on at least some of them between the two teams, and South River's chance, no good. Barbario, once again, with a 4-point day, misses the layup there. Dom Shapa, the pass in. Max Cohn lays it up and in. Kind of cutting into this lead a little bit. 16-point game. Rams have the lead. So a little bit of momentum here late in the game. And South River is going to get the ball on timeout called by their head coach, Brandon Walsh, who is not satisfied with what he's seeing. So what are you saying if you're Brandon Walsh now? You have a 16-point lead, but he still doesn't seem satisfied.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like the South River offense is still very aggressive, and if I were him, I would just say slow the game down. You know, we've seen how Metuchen has just been struggling on offense consistently, so I think it's a good idea to start slowing this game down. Slowing this game down, getting in control, and just letting the clock bleed, because you don't want to risk a wild comeback run from this Metuchen offense.
Absolutely, and it's not an easy thing to do, to slow off that, slow down the game, the pace of the game, especially when the defense is playing really quickly at a rapid pace, kind of trying to enforce a quick play out of the offense. But that's definitely, I agree. Brandon Walsh is probably telling his guys right now, slow down the game, don't rush anything, because that's when you create opportunities for Metuchen to kind of cut into the lead a little bit more and get the points they need. So there's 2 minutes to go, just above it, and South River is going to have the basketball after calling a timeout. For just joining us, it's 63-47, South River Rams beating the Metuchen Bulldogs by 16. It's been a combined day between really 3 great players. I'm going to say Roman Santos, who had a great second half so far. He's just been super good. Lazaro Rodriguez, mainly, and also Kobe Taylor, who was injured early in the first half, came back, and their offense has looked pretty good ever since. And as you said, it looks like that South River offense is kind of slowing down a bit. Just kind of taking their time, taking all that they need to waste as much clock away as they can, finding open men on the court. It's checked back, and Metuchen defense looks tired right now. They just look like they can't keep up. It almost looks like rec basketball. They're just kind of swarming to the ball, and the shot clock coming up soon. And now the South River Rams have just cracked their points for in last game. They put up 63 last game and 65 now against Metuchen. It's a travel again, a walk by Liam Benderly. And now they're going to put in some sophomores. Cody Cardillo checking in, as well as Danny Kuhn, to kind of seal off the tail end of what's been pretty much a disaster for the Bulldogs. At least a second half breakdown from them. And the Bulldogs put up 48 points in last game. Can they reach that mark again today? See, that's a shot you'd see them take early on in the game from the outside, but they're kind of conservative with their offense right now. Open lane, they'll find more space to waste some more time. Danny Kuhn contesting, and it's just pretty much being cycled around. Rodriguez passes it out. And Grosby back into the corner, and it's been mostly Barbario with the layups lately, but the shot clock coming down just to a few seconds now. Barbario checks out in the corner. Kind of hard to see on our cameras, but it's passed to Grosby, and now Rodriguez with the basketball. Pulling up and through the defense, which just cannot keep up. This looks like some sort of workout drill, and that will be Metuchen basketball now as the shot clock runs out. Checking in is Ben Galeota, Rocco Sirio, and out comes Dom Shapa and Alec Ladelaide. And here they come with 20 seconds to go. Probably just going to let the clock run now. Still some tight defense by the Metuchen Bulldogs, but that pretty much wraps up this game. The South River Rams beat the Metuchen Bulldogs on their home court in Metuchen, on the Metuchen High School gym floor. I'm here with Josh Hyman. Josh, what'd you like from that South River offense, especially? That's been the big name for today. That offense was just super good. As I mentioned earlier, the three names, Santos, Rodriguez, and Taylor, really kind of just penetrated all of the holes that the Bulldogs had to offer.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was just the aggression. Metuchen just came out. They couldn't keep up with just how fast this game was being played, both defensively and offensively. I think for South River, you saw it. They really just tangled up this Metuchen team on both sides of the ball. They got in there quickly. They were, especially in the beginning of the game, just sneaking their way under the basket and just putting up point after point. And then defensively, they were really able to stretch those Metuchen shooters out very thin and just give them all sorts of problems, forcing them to take, uncomfortable threes and just awkward shots all around. And I think definitely the passing game for Metuchen needs to get a lot better. The free throws need to be cleaned up because they did lose a lot of points and a lot of opportunities off just missing open free throws. So I think this Metuchen team has a lot to work on going into this next game, but I don't think their season is over yet. I think there's a lot of potential with these players to really make a good run. I just think they really need to right the ship quickly.
Absolutely. It's a work in progress. Obviously, just 2 games into the season, and they have a lot more to go in front of the home fans, and they'll definitely at some point close out a win, but today was not the day. They were unable to really do too much as an offensive unit, especially in the second half, as South River kind of figured them out. So the Metuchen Bulldogs definitely should feel optimistic about their season, because they definitely showed signs of flashy plays and plays that we didn't really necessarily see last year and years before. Dom Shapa looked really good. Max Cohn looked really good. Some promising values on the Metuchen Bulldogs. But we're wrapping it up here from the Brainy Borough. I'm Mike Bush with Josh Hyman, and we're signing off.